Welcome back. Waving hand sign. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of British coin collecting with a look at the top 5 most valuable United Kingdom 2 pence coins. United Kingdom. While the 2 pence coin might seem like small change in everyday life, certain years, mint variations, and unusual conditions can make these coins incredibly valuable to collectors. From rare minting errors to historical design changes, some of these coins have sold for surprising prices at auctions and collector markets. Let's get started. First up, the 2012 United Kingdom 2 pence coin. At first glance, it may look like a common piece of pocket change, especially if it appears dark or blackened from circulation. However, collectors often examine these coins carefully because certain conditions, minting variations, and collector demand can sometimes make them more interesting than their face value. In this video, we'll look at the history of the coin, its unique design features, collector interest in dark or damaged examples, and its potential auction value in US dollars. The 2012 2 pence coin is part of the modern decimal coinage of the United Kingdom, which began after the country switched to a decimal currency system in 1971. The coin has a face value of 2 pence, or 1/50th of a British pound. Over the decades, the design of the coin evolved to reflect modern British heraldry and artistic styles. The 2012 issue belongs to the Modern Shield series introduced in 2008. This design system is unique because each denomination of British coin shows a different section of the Royal Shield of Arms, and when all coins are placed together, they form the complete shield. Millions of these coins were produced for everyday circulation, and the 2012 mintage reached nearly 68 million coins, making it relatively common in circulation. However, even common coins can become collectible depending on their condition. Unusual toning, or minting errors. The 2012 2 pence coin has several distinctive features that collectors recognize immediately. On the obverse, the coin displays the fourth portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. The Queen is shown wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, surrounded by the inscription that identifies her as the monarch and defender of the faith. The reverse design, created by Matthew Dent, shows the lion rampant section of the Royal Shield, representing Scotland's heraldic symbol. Above the shield segment appears the denomination 2 pence. The coin is made from copper-plated steel, has a diameter of about 25.9 millimeters, and weighs approximately 7.12 grams. One interesting feature collectors often discuss is the color variation. When the copper plating oxidizes or the coin circulates for years, it can develop a dark brown or black shade. While this is usually natural toning or environmental damage, some collectors still find such coins interesting, especially if the tone is unusual or even in numismatics. Condition usually plays a major role in determining value. Coins that are uncirculated, shiny, and well-preserved tend to be worth the most. However, coins with unusual appearances like black shading, deep toning, or environmental damage sometimes attract curiosity among collectors. For the 2012 2 pence coin, the overall mintage is very high, meaning most examples are considered common. A dark or black shade typically occurs when the coin's copper plating reacts with air, moisture, or chemicals over time. While this doesn't usually increase value, collectors sometimes keep such pieces as examples of circulation history or unusual toning patterns. If the dark shade is combined with a genuine minting error, such as a rotated die, off-center strike, or striking on the wrong blank, the coin could become significantly more desirable to collectors. In rare cases, unusual minting errors on 2p coins have sold for hundreds of pounds in the collector market. When we talk about the value of a 2012 2 pence coin in black shade condition, it's important to understand realistic market prices. For a normal circulated coin with dark toning or damage, the value is usually close to its face value, about 3 cents to 20 cents USD. Depending on condition and collector interest, if the coin is in very nice circulated condition, collectors might pay around $1 to $3 US simply to complete a date collection. However, if a 2012 2 pence coin displays a verified mint error, the value can rise dramatically. Certain error coins in the 2p series have sold for $250 to over $1,300 US, depending on rarity and auction demand. This wide range shows how important it is to check coins carefully before assuming their value. If you believe you have an interesting 2012 2 pence coin, here are some useful tips. First, examine the coin closely under good lighting. Look for unusual features such as misaligned designs, double strikes, or unusual metal colors. Second, avoid cleaning the coin. Cleaning can damage the surface and significantly reduce collector value. Third, compare your coin with official examples from trusted numismatic catalogs or coin collecting websites. Fourth, if you suspect a rare error, consider getting the coin evaluated by a professional coin dealer or grading service. Finally, store collectible coins in protective holders to prevent further damage or corrosion. The 2012 United Kingdom 2 pence coin may seem like an ordinary piece of small change, but it carries an interesting story within the world of coin collecting. While most examples, even those with dark or black shading, are common and worth only a few cents, certain varieties and minting errors can attract serious interest from collectors and sometimes sell for impressive amounts at auction. This is why many collectors say, always check your change carefully. Even the smallest coin in your pocket could turn out to be an interesting collectible. Next up, the United Kingdom 2 pence coin from 2014. At first glance, it may seem like just another small copper coin you might find in your pocket or a jar at home. But sometimes even common coins can surprise collectors, especially when certain conditions, mint details, or collector interest come into play. In this video, we'll look closely at the 2014 UK 2 pence coin in dirty or heavily circulated condition, its background, the features that make it recognizable, its rarity level, and how much collectors might actually pay for it in auction markets in US dollars. You might even discover that a coin sitting in your spare change has a small but interesting collectible value. The 2 pence coin, often simply called the 2p, is part of the British decimal currency system that was introduced in 1971 during Decimal Day, when the United Kingdom shifted from the old pounds, shillings, and pence system to a simpler decimal format. Since its introduction, the 2 pence coin has been produced regularly by the Royal Mint, becoming one of the most common copper-plated coins in circulation across the UK by 2014. The coin was already a familiar part of everyday life in Britain. That year's version features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Jodie Clark, which began appearing on British coins in 2015, but the 2014 issue still used the Ian Rank Broadley portrait of the Queen. Millions of these coins were struck and released into circulation, making them widely used in daily transactions. Even though the coin itself is modern, collectors still study each year's minting details to identify unusual pieces, errors, or coins that may have survived in interesting conditions. The 2014 United Kingdom 2 pence coin has several recognizable design elements. On the obverse, you'll see the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, facing right, surrounded by the inscription Elizabeth II DG Reg FD, which stands for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. The reverse side features a section of the Royal Shield of Arms, designed by Matthew Dent. This design was introduced in 2008, when the Royal Mint updated the appearance of many British coins. When all the coins from 1p to 50p are placed together, they form the full Royal Shield, a creative design that symbolizes the unity of the United Kingdom. The coin is made from copper-plated steel, has a weight of 7.12 grams, and measures 25.9 millimeters in diameter. In dirty or circulated condition, the coin often appears darker brown or even blackish due to oxidation and dirt buildup from years of handling. Now let's talk about rarity. The truth is that the 2014 2 pence coin is not considered rare in the world of numismatics. The Royal Mint produced hundreds of millions of these coins for circulation. Because of this high mintage, most examples are extremely common. When a coin is found in dirty or damaged condition, its value to collectors usually decreases. Dirt, corrosion, scratches, and heavy wear can hide important design details and reduce the coin's visual appeal. Most collectors prefer coins that are in uncirculated or mint condition, where the original luster and details are still visible. However, some collectors still keep circulated examples for year collections or educational purposes. Even a worn or dirty coin can be interesting if someone is trying to build a full set of British decimal coins. In terms of actual market value, the 2014 UK 2 pence coin in dirty or heavily circulated condition usually holds very little premium above face value. In most cases, such coins are worth roughly 3 cents to 20 cents USD when sold in bulk or among casual collectors. If the coin is slightly cleaner and shows moderate detail, it might sell online for around 50 cents to $1 USD, especially if included in a lot of British coins. However, it is extremely rare for a standard 2014 2 pence coin in poor condition to reach higher prices at auction. The only situations where a coin like this might become valuable would be if it had a minting error, such as an off-center strike, double strike, or other unusual production flaw. Error coins can sometimes attract collectors and sell for $20, $50, or even more, depending on the rarity of the error. If you're collecting British coins or checking your spare change, there are a few helpful tips to remember. First, always inspect coins carefully for mint errors or unusual features, since these can dramatically increase value. Second, avoid aggressively cleaning coins. Cleaning can actually reduce collector value because it damages the original surface. Another good tip is to store coins in protective holders or coin flips to prevent further wear. If you're interested in modern British coins, try building a complete date set of 2 pence coins from 1971 to the present, which can be an enjoyable and affordable collecting goal. So, while the 2014 United Kingdom 2 pence coin in dirty condition may not be a rare treasure worth thousands of dollars, it still represents an interesting piece of modern British currency and history. Coins like this remind us how everyday money travels through countless hands and stories before eventually reaching collectors. If you happen to find one of these coins in your pocket change, It may only be worth a few cents in the collector market, but checking it closely could still reveal something unexpected. And for coin enthusiasts, even the most common coins can play a role in building a fascinating collection. Next up, the 2008 United Kingdom 2 pence coin. At first glance, this small copper-colored coin might appear ordinary, especially if it is in very bad or heavily circulated condition. However, collectors know that even common coins can attract attention depending on their design, rarity, and market demand. In today's video, we'll explore the history of the 2008 2 pence coin, its unique design features, how collectors view coins in poor condition, and the possible auction market value in US dollars. So stay tuned, because you might discover that a simple coin in your change could still have collector interest. The British 2 pence coin is part of the modern decimal currency system introduced in the United Kingdom in 1971, when the country switched from the old pound shillings pence system to decimal coinage. The coin represents 2/100ths of a pound sterling, making it one of the lowest denominations in circulation. Over the years, the coin has undergone several design changes and composition adjustments. Early coins were made from bronze, but since 1992 most 2p coins have been produced from copper-plated steel due to rising metal prices. The year 2008 is especially interesting because it marked a major redesign of British circulating coins. The new design was part of a creative concept where different denominations each display a section of the royal shield, forming a complete coat of arms when placed together. This redesign was created by designer Matthew Dent and gradually replaced the older reverse designs used for decades. The 2008 2 pence coin features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse side. The portrait used on coins from this era was designed by sculptor Ian Rank Broadley, showing the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara on the reverse side. The coin displays a section of the royal shield, specifically the Lion Rampant of Scotland, which forms part of the United Kingdom's coat of arms. The inscription 2 pence appears at the top. Another notable feature of the 2008 redesign is that the ring of dots, called beading, was removed from the coin's edges, giving the coin a cleaner modern appearance. While millions of these coins were minted more than 10 million pieces, they remain interesting to collectors because they represent the first year of the Shield design series. When collectors evaluate coins, condition plays a huge role in determining value. Coins are graded from mint state, which means almost perfect condition, down to heavily circulated or damaged. A very bad condition coin might show scratches, corrosion, discoloration, worn details, or even bending. For common coins like the 2008 2 pence, heavy wear usually reduces the value significantly. However, some collectors still keep such coins as design-type examples or as part of date collections. In rare situations, a damaged coin may still attract attention if it has unusual characteristics such as minting errors, misprints, or historical significance. Even a worn coin can be interesting if it represents a key year in design changes or if collectors are assembling a complete series of modern British coins. Now let's talk about the value. In most cases, a regular 2008 2 pence coin in very poor condition is usually worth only its face value, about 2 cents to 10 cents in US dollars, depending on the market and collector interest. Coins in better condition, such as uncirculated examples, may sell for $1 to $3, especially if they are preserved well. Occasionally, coins with errors or unusual minting varieties may attract higher bids in online auctions, sometimes reaching $10 or more, depending on rarity and collector demand. It is important to note that online listings sometimes claim extremely high prices, but the true value of a coin is determined by actual completed sales and verified auctions, not just asking prices. If you are interested in collecting or selling coins like the 2008 2 pence, here are a few helpful tips. First, always check the condition of the coin carefully. Even small details such as sharp lettering or visible shield designs can make a difference. Second, look for minting errors or unusual variations, which sometimes increase collector value. Third, avoid cleaning coins, as cleaning can damage the surface and reduce the coin's desirability to collectors. Finally, if you believe you have an unusual example, consider consulting a coin expert or using reputable coin grading services to verify authenticity and condition. In conclusion, the 2008 United Kingdom 2 pence coin may seem ordinary, especially when it appears in very bad condition. However, its role in the major redesign of British coinage makes it a memorable piece of modern numismatic history. While most worn examples are worth only a few cents, collectors still appreciate the coin for its design, history, and place within the Royal Shield series. Next up, the 2001 2 pence coin from the United Kingdom. At first glance, this coin may look ordinary, especially if it appears in a dark or black-shaded circulated condition, but collectors are often curious about whether such coins can still hold value in the auction market. In this video, we'll take a closer look at the history of the coin, its design and features, collector demand even in worn condition, and most importantly, its current market value in US dollars. If you enjoy learning about coins and their hidden worth, Make sure to watch until the end. The modern British 2 pence coin was introduced in 1971, the year when the United Kingdom switched to the decimal currency system. This change replaced the old system of pounds, shillings, and pence with a simpler structure where 1 pound equals 100 pence. Since then, the 2 pence coin has remained a standard part of everyday circulation in the United Kingdom. The 2001 issue was struck during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II and produced by the Royal Mint in Llantrisant, Wales. That year, the coin had an extremely large mintage of about 551 million pieces, meaning it was widely circulated and commonly found in pocket change. Because of this high production number, most 2001 2 pence coins are not considered rare. However, collectors still study these coins carefully, especially when unusual conditions, mint errors, or special versions appear in the market. The 2001 UK 2 pence coin has several distinctive features that make it recognizable to collectors. On the obverse side of the coin, you will find the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by artist Ian Rank-Broadley. This portrait was used on many British coins starting in the late 1990s. The reverse side displays the famous badge of the Prince of Wales, featuring 3 feathers emerging from a coronet with the motto ICHDN, meaning I serve. This iconic design was created by Christopher Ironside and has been used on the 2 pence coin since decimalization. The coin itself is made of copper-plated steel, weighs about 7.12 grams, and has a diameter of approximately 25.9 millimeters with a smooth edge. Because of the steel core, these coins are actually magnetic, which surprises many people who handle them for the first time. When collectors talk about rarity, the condition of a coin plays a major role. A coin in perfect mint condition can sometimes be far more valuable than the same coin that has been heavily circulated. If a 2001 2 pence coin appears in a black shade condition, this usually means the copper plating has darkened over time due to oxidation, dirt, or environmental exposure. Such coins are very common because millions were used in everyday transactions, and in the coin collecting world, this kind of worn or darkened appearance typically lowers the collectible value. Since the 2001 coin had such a large mintage, collectors generally prefer uncirculated or proof versions rather than damaged examples. However, some collectors still keep circulated coins as part of date collections or for educational purposes. Occasionally, coins with unusual toning or striking errors can attract additional attention. Now let's talk about the value of the 2001 UK 2 pence coin in most circulated conditions, including coins with discoloration or black shading. The coin is usually worth around 15 cents to 50 cents to collectors. Coins in better condition may reach around $1 to $3, particularly if they are uncirculated or part of a collectible set. Proof versions made specifically for collectors can sometimes sell for around £4, which is roughly about $5 or slightly more depending on the exchange rate. So while the 2001 2 pence coin might not be extremely valuable, it still has a small collector's market, especially when preserved in high quality. If you believe you have a 2001 2 pence coin, here are a few tips before selling or storing it. First, carefully examine the coin under good lighting to check for unusual features such as minting errors, off-center strikes, or unusual metal color variations. These rare mistakes can sometimes increase value significantly. Second, avoid cleaning the coin. Cleaning may seem like a good idea, but it can actually damage the surface and reduce the coin's collectible value. Third, store coins in protective holders or albums to prevent further wear or corrosion. Proper storage helps maintain the coin's condition over time. Finally, compare your coin with recent auction listings to understand realistic market prices before selling. In conclusion, the 2001 United Kingdom 2 pence coin is an interesting piece of modern British currency history. With a mintage of more than 500 million coins, it is not considered rare, especially when found in circulated or black-shaded condition. Most examples are worth only a few cents to a few dollars, depending on their condition. However, the coin still holds educational value for collectors who enjoy exploring the evolution of British currency and the designs associated with Queen Elizabeth II's reign. So the next time you find a dark or worn 2001 2 pence coin, take a moment to appreciate the history behind it. Even small coins can tell big stories about a nation's economy, design heritage, and collecting culture. Next up, the 2000 United Kingdom 2 pence coin. Even though this coin is extremely common, collectors still like to examine it carefully because sometimes condition, unusual wear, or errors can attract attention in the coin collecting world. In this video, we will explore the history of the 2002 pence coin, its design features, how rusty or damaged examples affect collector interest, and what this coin could realistically sell for at auction in US dollars. If you enjoy learning about rare coins and hidden treasures, stay with us until the end. The United Kingdom introduced the modern decimal 2 pence coin in 1971 when the country changed its currency system to decimalization. The coin continued to be produced for everyday circulation and became one of the most common denominations used across the country. The 2002 pence coin was minted by the Royal Mint and features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse side. This portrait design was created by Ian Rank-Broadley, whose depiction of the Queen appeared on many UK coins issued between 1998 and 2015 and the year 2000. The Royal Mint produced approximately 536 million 2 pence coins, making it a very common coin in circulation. Because so many were minted, most examples are not considered rare by collectors today. The 2002 pence coin has several distinctive characteristics that collectors often examine when evaluating its value. First, the coin is made from copper-plated steel, which gives it a reddish-brown appearance when new. Over time, however, exposure to moisture or air can cause the surface to darken, tarnish, or even develop rust spots if the plating becomes damaged. Second, the reverse side of the coin features the famous badge of the Prince of Wales, which includes 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet above a ribbon bearing the German motto ICHDN, meaning I serve. This iconic design was created by Christopher Ironside and has been used on the 2 pence coin since decimalization. The coin's main specifications include weight, about 7.12 grams diameter, 25.9 mm smooth-edge copper-plated steel composition. These features help collectors identify genuine coins and distinguish them from tokens or replicas. When collectors evaluate coins, condition is extremely important. Coins that are shiny, clean, and well-preserved are usually worth much more than those that are damaged, scratched, or rusted. A rusty 2002 pence coin is typically considered a heavily circulated piece. Rust usually occurs when the thin copper plating becomes worn and the underlying steel is exposed to moisture. This kind of damage reduces the coin's desirability among collectors. Because the mintage for the 2002 pence coin was extremely high, collectors generally do not pay a premium for damaged examples. In fact, most rusty or heavily worn coins are valued only at their face value or slightly above it. However, there are rare situations where a damaged coin might still attract interest, such as unusual minting errors, dramatic toning patterns, coins used in historical collections, or displays without these unique features. A rusty coin usually remains a common circulation piece, so how much is the 2000 UK 2 pence coin actually worth today? According to coin price guides and collector data, typical examples of this coin sell for approximately 44 cents to $1.05 depending on condition. Here is a general value range: poor or rusty condition, 2 cents to 20 cents, often just face value; average circulated condition, around 40 cents to 60 cents; uncirculated condition, about $1 or slightly more. Proof collector versions made for special sets can sell for higher amounts, sometimes around $5 or more, but these are not the coins normally found in circulation. So while online listings sometimes claim very high prices, realistic auction results usually remain within these small value ranges. If you are searching for valuable 2 pence coins, here are a few helpful tips. First, always check the year and inscription carefully. Some rare varieties, such as certain early decimal coins with unusual wording or mint errors, can be worth significantly more. Second, pay attention to the coin's condition. Coins that are shiny and well preserved have much better chances of attracting collector interest. Third, store your coins properly. Keep them in protective holders or coin albums to prevent corrosion and rust. Finally, research before selling. Compare auction listings and consult coin value guides to understand what collectors are actually paying. In conclusion, the United Kingdom 2002 pence coin is an interesting piece of modern British currency history. With more than 500 million coins minted, it is a very common coin, which means most examples, especially rusty or heavily circulated ones, are worth only a small amount above their face value. However, every coin tells a story. Even a worn or rusty coin can remind us of the long circulation life of everyday money and the fascinating world of coin collecting. If you enjoyed learning about the value of the 2002 pence coin, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check your spare change, because you never know when a rare coin might appear.